outblazing us.
On his way to third, cut down. Wow. And now we head to L.A.
We'll turn the page and get ready for Game 3.
Plus at Dodger Stadium. A live wire crowd welcoming back the reigning world champion Dodgers. They won on this field in the wild card game, split in San Francisco, and now they are back for Game 3. We welcome you to the 2021 National League Division Series on TBS. It is presented by Good Sam. Now the Giants on the road for the first time in the postseason. Giants, Dodgers, everything we thought it'd be. Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us. This place is rocking here behind us. I'm Brian Anderson along with Ron Darling. We'll hear from Lauren Shahade in just a moment. And, Ronnie, this is kind of rolling along like we thought.
Yeah.
Now it's a best of 3. The Dodgers now have taken back home field advantage.
They both have 108 wins. Someone's heart's going to get broken in this series. In Game 1, Logan Webb was outstanding. His first postseason start, he comes up with a gem. And then, of course, the Giants that they've done all season long. 3 home runs to seal that game. And in Game 2, at 25 years old, Julio Urias with his 7th win and 4 hits on the first pitch that drove in 6 runs for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, because Max Scherzer pitched the wild card game and helped the Dodgers get to the division series, they now have Scherzer available here for Game 3, completely flipping that series. Interesting pitching matchup tonight.
It really is. With Scherzer, just this stat. He has started 12 times for the Dodgers. They have not lost the game when he's been out there. And for Alex Wood, this is an interesting stat as well. 13 times he started the game after a loss by the Giants. The Giants have won 12 of those games.
And he was terrific in the postseason for the Dodgers a year ago, but an excellent starter all year for San Francisco. Another big story, Albert Pujols, his first start. He'll make that for the Dodgers tonight, his first postseason start since 2014. And Lauren Shahade, as we can see, it is windy down there.
That's right, PA. Winds blowing out to right, and Albert, a legend in this clubhouse. Justin Turner told me, I'm going to tell my grandkids that I played on the same team as Albert Pujols. Dave Roberts said, look, most of the guys in this clubhouse had a poster of him on their wall, yet he's the first guy in the clubhouse every day, smiling ear to ear, having the time of his life. And get this, asking his teammates to critique his swing. They're saying, not for nothing, you're a first ballot Hall of Famer, 679 home runs in the show. You critique ours. But at 41 years old, he's still so anxious to learn. It's going to be fun and windy. The stage is set for Game 3 of the NLDS from beautiful Los Angeles, California. Dodgers and Giants next on TBS. Stay with us.
Good sale by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. And by DraftKings, the best place to get in on the MLB action with daily fantasy, sports betting, and free-to-play pools. All postseason, customers can play in free late-inning pools for a swing at over $50,000. Use promo code HEAT to sign up.
Well, San Francisco, they brought their weather with them here to Southern California. 69 degrees. The winds right now, it says 14, that's on average. It is gusting up to 40 miles per hour and very low humidity. This could be very interesting tonight, Ronnie.
You know, Brian, I've been coming here for 37 years. I've never seen a day at Dodger Stadium remotely close to this. And as far as the humidity is concerned, that low humidity is going to produce a really silky ball. It's going to be hard to get a grip.
Let's check the San Francisco Giants starting lineup here for Game 3. Turned in by Gabe Kapler, a Southern California native. Tommy La Stella back in the leadoff spot. He'll be followed by Mike Yastrzemski. Buster Posey will catch and bat third. He's had a nice series thus far. In the middle, it's Brandon Crawford, Chris Bryant, who's at first base. Lamont Wade Jr. gets to start in left. And then the bottom 3, Evan Longoria, Steven Duggar, and the pitcher Alex Wood rounding out the starting 9. And there he is, stalking around the mound, Max Scherzer. They acquired him from the Nationals for games just like this.
I mentioned earlier that 12 starts he's made for the Dodgers. The Dodgers have not lost the game. Those are his numbers in those starts, but got taken out in the 5th inning of the wild card game. In his last 3 starts, 2 regular season and the wild card, ERA is close to 7.
This will be his 20th career postseason start. Won a World Series with the Nationals 2 years ago. And this is start number 2 in the postseason this year for the Dodgers. Scherzer's first pitch. Tommy La Stella takes, and away we go. Ball 1 to get us started. Tommy La Stella back in that starting lineup. He did not start in game number 2. La Stella was 2 for 2 with a run scored in the opener. Dodgers got a terrific pitching effort from Julio Urias, and the Dodgers look like their normal offensive selves in game 2. That was after the Giants shut out LA in game 1. A 4-0 shutout win. And that one's in there for a strike. 2-1 to count on La Stella. I guarantee you every outfielder, every infielder, every pop-up and fly ball is going to be somewhat of an adventure here tonight. And you know these guys are thinking about that on this night. It's not just the wind, it's the debris that is blowing around as well, and the dust that is being kicked up. And Max Scherzer
just lost his balance. Probably the wind kind of blew him offline.
See him go into his mouth there again on a dry night. These are northeast winds. These are very unusual winds for this part of the country. If it's blowing Max Scherzer over, you know it's significant. Here's the 2-1, and La Stella spoils it foul.
Fall has come to a place that never experiences it.
Mookie Betts, he joins Chris Taylor, A.J. Pollock in the outfield. 3 very accomplished outfielders. But even the great ones could have their hands full on a night like this. 2-2 the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Scherzer, a short stay in the wild card game. He did not pitch to his normal standard in his last 3 games as a Dodger. Said he made a mechanical fix, or at least spotted something in his lower half in his mechanics, and we'll see if that shows up today. And that is a swing and a foul. La Stella just hangs in there. Scherzer is a fly ball pitcher as well. Alex Wood for the Giants, a ground ball pitcher. So that's one area that would favor the Giants in those specific categories. But there's no doubt the Dodgers have the man they want on the mound. Pitch number 6, and the 3-2 is low for ball 4, and Tommy La Stella draws an opening walk. How about you set the Dodgers defensively for us, Ronnie?
The defense for the Dodgers will have the battery of Scherzer and Will Smith, who is behind the plate tonight, batting 8th behind Albert Pujols, Turner, Seager, Turner, and Pujols at first base. Now in the outfield, the gold of Pollock and Betts, Taylor in the middle.
Betts made a game-changing play in game 2, throwing out Wilmer Flores at third base as the Giants were rallying. Just had a little bit of a pause. There was some debris on the field. I'm sure that is going to come up frequently tonight. Runner at first to get it started. Here is Mike Yastrzemski, and he takes a ball down and in.
You know, Max, who is so mechanically driven, this win has to affect those mechanics. And you can see so far, like his wild card game, really tugging that ball to his glove side. The ball inside the lefties, away to righties.
He talked about the lower half and everything, you know, working from the ground up, the feet, the knees, the hips. And Scherzer didn't go into specifics on why he thought or what he found, but he did recognize that he thought he had found something. And it's not that he pitched poorly in the wild card game, but he was not his dominant self. He just competed like he always does. He was taken out in the 5th inning with just 1 out. He went 4 1/3 in that game. Only gave up the 1 run, which came on a wild pitch. Dodgers would win that game over the Cardinals on that now famous Chris Taylor walk-off home run, the 2-run blast in the 9th.
There's an example right there. Max Scherzer with his 3 Cy Youngs. He doesn't miss this poorly ever on a 2-0 pitch. So definitely the grip of the baseball is a little off for Max so far.
He walks the leadoff hitter. Now he's 3-0 on Yastrzemski. And Yastrzemski takes a strike right at the bottom of the zone. That was generous call too. That's Ted Barrett back there, the crew chief of this 6-man umpiring crew. Ted Barrett will be joined by Pat Hoberg, Doug Eddings, and Gabe Morales around the infield. Carlos Torres and Angel Hernandez, the 2 outfield umpires. Yastrzemski fouls it back, and it's 3-2.
Got a pitch to hit there. Throughout his career, Max Scherzer has been a dominant pitcher, a Cy Young Award winner 3 times over. His only small Achilles heel has been the home run ball, and the ball is blowing out to right field.
Yeah, anything hit center field to the left field pole going to get knocked down, but as Lauren mentioned, if it's going out to right center to the right field pole, look out, it's going to fly. Scherzer deals, and Yastrzemski fouls it off. And a lot of pitches racked up between the first 2 hitters. Just what the Giants want to do, get that pitch count up for Max Scherzer. Dave Roberts, after enduring his first ever NLDS loss in a Game 1, had been 5-0. His Dodgers bounce back and win Game 2. 3-2 on Yastrzemski now. Listella at first, and that one's in there. Called strike 3. Caught him guessing. And Scherzer dials it in, picks up his first strikeout of the night.
The prior pitch, Brian, was a 3-2 slider down and in, so he countered with the fastball middle, and it froze him.
A walk and a strikeout to start the night for Scherzer. And you heard the boos rain down on Buster Posey. He has been a thorn in the side of the Dodgers and Dodger fans for many years now. And he's off to a terrific start in this NLDS, and he lines one to right field. Posey with his 5th hit already, coming off a 3-hit game in Game 2, 2-run homer in Game 1, and it's a single. And now at first and second with 1 away.
If there's a theme to Buster's approach in this series, he is working the right side of the diamond. A 2-run home run in Game 1. He hit that over the right field wall. A lot of his hits in this series so far of the 5 have come to the right side.
Two men aboard, Listella and Posey, and that'll bring up Brandon Crawford now. Crawford homered in Game 1, center field home run, a bit of a put away punch. It was the 4th run in a 4-0 Giants win. Oh, big swing and a miss.
With Brandon Belt out of the lineup with a fractured thumb, this is the best left-handed power bat for the Giants. MVP type season this year.
A career year in homers and RBIs for Crawford. He has reached base in 14 consecutive games now. Had that homer in Game 1, and he had 2 hits and an RBI in Game 2. Two men aboard, 1 out. Scherzer deals. Crawford a swing and a miss.
Like all great pitchers, it feels now that Max has made the adjustment to the elements. But tough hitter for Scherzer his entire career.
7 hits, 3 of those are doubles. But the fastball right by Crawford on those 2 occasions. 1 away. 0-2 the count. We're just getting started tonight at Dodger Stadium. Giants threaten early, and Crawford looks at one in the dirt.
Most important players in this ball game might be both right fielders.
Mookie Betts.
You know what he can do.
Mike Yastrzemski on the other side. It was Crawford's base hit that drove in a run, but that same play, that was the play Betts made. Picked it up off a bounce and threw out Wilmer Flores at third base. A turning point in Game 2. Well, Crawford asked for time, didn't get it, and that one's inside. I don't know if he was asking for timeout or just shaking off the top hand. Either way, it left the bat, it looked like. Let's see here.
No, he's asking for time.
Didn't get it.
You know, with these windy conditions, you get something in your eye at the last second.
That's going to be a big part of it. There's a lot of stuff blowing around. Crawford takes low. Change up from Scherzer. On deck is Chris Bryant, who gets the call at first base tonight. Third 3-ball count already for Max Scherzer. How about that? 19 pitches in the wild card game in the first inning, just threw his 20th. And the Cardinals scored in the first inning of that wild card game on a wild pitch. 3-2.
Took another change up there. Remember Yastrzemski in the previous at bat, he threw him, or a batter before Posey, threw him a slider on 3-2, then came back with a fastball. Does he set up this next fastball again by that changeup? Does he challenge Crawford, the Giants' best player this summer?
Yastrzemski, the lone out thus far, a strikeout. Also on a 3-2 pitch. Here's another 3-2, and Crawford a swing and a miss. Scherzer pounding that inside corner. And his second strikeout, he gets Crawford.
Can't get a better pitch on a 3-2 count. Perfect on the corner, elevated, so it's impossible for Crawford to get to it. And you can see that swing trying to pull his hands in, but couldn't get it there quick enough.
There has been a definitive click from the first couple of batters here. You spotted, I mean, he's found it. And now Chris Bryant. Remember those first couple of fastballs, he tugged all the way across into the left-handed batter's box. Bryant a swing and a miss. That one just dies. Fastball down.
Bryant only 3 for his last 28, Brian, with runners in scoring position, but interesting enough, feels like a windy Chicago day.
Yeah, he's right at home in a climate like this. All those great years with the Cubs, Rookie of the Year, an MVP, a World Series title in 2016, and a key acquisition as Scherzer deals him a strike. And it was Posey and Bryant and Crawford who delivered in game 1.
Perfect changeup at the bottom of the strike zone by Max.
50,000 plus. They're up already. First inning. Pitch number 25 coming for Scherzer. La Stella and Posey aboard. Here he comes. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Scherzer strikes out 3. Strands 2. Works around a walk and a single. And we're off and running in game 3 of the National League Division Series. In the books here, game 3 of the NLDS. Now the Dodgers coming up, and the batting order for Dave Roberts, Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, and Corey Seager. Those two flip-flop 2 and 3 in the order. Justin Turner, Chris Taylor, and A.J. Pollock. Albert Pujols in the starting lineup tonight. They'll be followed by Will Smith batting 8th, and then Max Scherzer rounding out the starting 9. Some big names in there, none bigger than Pujols at age 41, his first start in a postseason game since 2014. Alex Wood, the former Dodger, parts of 5 years as a Dodger, knows this mound well, Ronnie.
Yes, he was with them from 2015 to 2018, came back as a free agent in 2020, where he pitched beautifully for them in the postseason. Only gave up a run in 6 2/3 innings in the LCS and the World Series.
The Dodgers this year were 19 games over 500 against left-handed starting pitchers. There was some deliberation, though, with Dave Roberts about where he was going to go with this. And Pujols, because of the injury to Max Muncy, it has been a revolving door at first base. And so instead of Matt Beatty, a left-handed bat, or Bellinger, a left-handed bat, he goes with Pujols. So the way this flows tonight and how many innings Alex Wood can give will be a huge story.
Alex Wood is the definition of a funky left-hander. You'll see a lot of sinking fastballs, sinking changeups. Cornerstone of his arsenal is the breaking ball.
And Betts fouls it away. Mookie Betts 1 for 4 in the first game of this division series, and then he had 2 hits and an RBI in game 2. So he's 3 for 8, and he has Had an impact with his glove as well, and his arm. Nobody really throws like Alex Wood, and that's what was so enticing to the Giants, is that he's a unique delivery. He's been great in the clutch before. He was excellent out of the bullpen in both the NLCS and the World Series for the Dodgers last year. They loved his competitive nature, and a promise to put him in the starting lineup, and he's been a starter, and he's been a big part of what has been one of the best pitching staffs in all of the National League.
When you look at his delivery, you like to have a comp for a pitcher. There is no comp for that motion right there. All-star with the Dodgers in 2017 when he made 25 starts, went 16-3.
He deals, and skip rope, Mookie Betts. 2-2 the count.
He'll pitch the righties just about the same. He'll get them on that seesaw of fastballs and changeups away and down, and that breaking ball down at their back foot.
Wood fires, and did he go? They'll ask. He did. A ring up at first base by Pat Hoberg, and it's a strikeout to start the game for Alex Wood.
You want to be booed as an umpire? Call the check swing on Mookie Betts in the first hitter of the game.
That'll get it done pretty much every time in this ballpark.
Yeah. I found that the umpires in this postseason all the way around have been very aggressive with that check swing. And I think Pat Hoberg got that right.
We had a chance to talk to Rich Rieker, a supervisor who's with us here, that said, you know, it's not about where the bat is, it's attempt to swing. And if it feels like an attempt to swing, and that certainly did, then it's a swing. And we certainly, with replay speeds we have and technology nowadays on television, you can see a lot more these days than you ever used to be able to see, and how far that bat does go. That one just missed. Trey Turner batting in the 2 spot here tonight, so a flip-flop of Turner and Seager. Trey Turner and Seager. Dodgers changing their lineup in each of the 3 games in significant ways. And a swing and a miss. Boy, a nice little breaking ball there from Alex Wood had Turner way out in front.
It's another pitcher that really concentrates on tunneling that ball, that it comes down in the strike zone, and he either takes a left or a right with Wood.
Three balls and a strike. Trey Turner following the strikeout of Betts. Turner, the batting champion in the majors this year, and he shoots one to right. That is foul. Just foul. Oh, close call over there. Angel Hernandez is the right field umpire, and they set up shallow for this very reason. And let's see. Oh man, good call. I mean, it just missed that painted stripe down the right field line. Close. And with Trey Turner's speed, he's going to run for days if that's a fair ball. But that was a good call by Angel Hernandez. Umpire rotation goes home plate, left field, right field. Hernandez had game 1. And a broken bat foul, I beg your pardon, the opposite way, right field, then left field. Hernandez had game 2.
And then you come around the diamond to third base, second base, first base, and umpire behind the plate. Doug Eddings will be game 5 umpire if we get there.
Yeah, that's what you're always looking for. If it comes to that win or go home game, that final game of a best-of-5 series. And Doug Eddings, who's at second base tonight, will be the man in the hot seat. Typically, the umpires and how they set it up, they want the crew chief in a pivotal game 3, and that's why Ted Barrett is there today. Fly ball to right. Coming in on it is Yastrzemski. No problem there. 4 out, number 2. So the wind is a story tonight, Lauren, and you're right down there on the field. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I'm by the Dodger dugout. Most guys on the top step because below there's debris and gum wrappers swirling in a circle almost. And Corey now up at the plate. When he was on deck, he kept rubbing his eyes, the dirt making his eyes watery. It's truly tough to see down here.
So, Ronnie, is it more wind or debris or lack of humidity? What do you feel like is the biggest challenge tonight?
I think it's all in there. I think it's all of those things that have come to this Dodger Stadium here tonight are all going to influence it. The slickness of the ball, the inability to really get any moisture in your eyes, and of course the wind is going to play tricks on the outfielders.
Here's Seager, a swing and a miss, and a ball and a strike. Best spot to be right there on the mound. Let everybody else deal with it. Shift is on for Seager. And had a notion, but checks his swing. Seager hitting in that 3 spot today against a left-handed starter. He has hits in each of the first 2 games. 1 for 4 in game 1, 1 for 5 in game 2. Travel day yesterday, and then the series picking up here in LA for the next 2 days. Got a man right there. Brandon Crawford over on the shift, and Alex Wood, a 3 up, 3 down first inning in his return to the Dodger Stadium mound. 1 in the books. Game 3, NLDS on TBS. Series to Los Angeles for game 3. We'll be here tonight and tomorrow night. Yeah, that's the foul pole swaying in the wind.
Playing peekaboo.
And here we go to the second inning. Lamont Wade Jr. leads off against Max Scherzer. Lamont Wade been a big story for the Giants this year. Acquired from the Minnesota Twins. And he's had a great year, career year. Never played as much, never produced as much. Was a pinch hitter in game 2. Got the start and was 0 for 3 in game 1 in the Giants victory. Wade, Longoria, Steven Duggar will start it against Max Scherzer.
So far, Ted Barrett calling a lot of pitches down on the bottom of the strike zone. Talked to Gabe Kapler about Wade Jr. and he said, listen, we knew he could play when we acquired him. We didn't know he's going to develop this quick. And boy, has he this year.
And gives a lot of credit to his coaching staff and Wade himself as he sends this one in the air. Everybody on point. Turner and Seager over, and it'll be Seager to make the catch. And one away here in the second inning gives us a chance to take a look at today's odds, powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. Max Scherzer total strikeouts over under 7.5. He picked up 3 Ks in the first inning.
So far, 2 balls in the air have been handled very easily by the infielders, so that's good to see.
And here is Evan Longoria. Longoria hitless in the series thus far. He's made a sparkling defensive play. His regular season at 833 OPS. Looking for his first hit of the postseason this year. Had some great memories and moments for the Tampa Bay Rays. Was a face of the franchise player for the Rays until they traded him to San Francisco. Had one of the all-time great end of season moments a decade ago, 2011, the final day of the regular season, when Longoria hit a dramatic home run for the Rays. See his numbers against Scherzer. There's a lot of that. 2 for 19. One of those 2 hits a homer. And Longoria takes a strike.
One of the reasons that Chris Bryant is playing first base tonight is because Wilmer Flores, who played there the first 2 games, is 0 for 17 off Max Scherzer with 8 Ks.
2-2 now. Longoria, former rookie of the year in the big leagues in the AL. I got hit by a pitch on the thumb a couple of weeks. Man, that is right at you.
Tracer.
think that hit by pitch has set him back a little bit. The Giants are hopeful to see something out of Longoria tonight. And that bat just seems a little bit slow. And Max Scherzer makes a lot of hitters look like that, like the bat is dragging a little bit. But it is definitely something to pay attention to as this series unfolds. You got the 37-year-old Scherzer, still a power pitcher, and the 35-year-old Evan Longoria.
He's battling, though, this at bat. What happens for these pros like Longoria is that he's a little late on the fastball, a little quick on the breaking ball, really locked in between right now, but has worked the full count.
Scherzer fires, and a swing and a miss. Elevated the fastball, and Longoria is strikeout victim number 4.
Well, one thing that is different from the wild card start with Max Scherzer is that he has swing and miss stuff tonight. His 4th strikeout, just a totally different start to this game than it was in the wild card.
8-time All-Star, including this season. He's won the Cy Young Award 3 times.
One of the favorites to win it again this year.
He is certainly on the list. He and Corbin Burns and Scherzer and Julio Urias and Walker Buehler all in the Cy Young conversation this year, the big 3. Dodgers are without Clayton Kershaw, who was injured near the end of the year. We're hoping to visit with Clayton Kershaw tonight from the dugout, and he is only a spectator the rest of the season. It's a tough injury for him, but this very talented pitching rotation. 2 quick strikes. Steven Duggar, excellent center fielder, gets the start against Scherzer tonight, with Gabe Kapler wanting that left-handed bat in there.
First postseason at bat for Duggar.
And the 0-2 didn't bite on the changeup. The Giants have 5 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight, Ronnie.
First at bat in the postseason. What do you see? A curveball for a strike, fastball on the corner, changeup in the dirt.
Duggar did play in center field in game 1, but did not bat, and then he did not play at all in game 2.
Sometimes when you want to see the velocity of a pitcher, you'll look on the board and you'll see the number. When you want to see the effective velocity of a pitcher, you watch the swing of the hitters.
That's a different 95, 96 miles an hour. Smith wants a slider. Here's the 1-2. Scherzer, when he's right, just has the incredible ability. It's why he's been so great, why he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. But his ability to throw all of these pitches kind of wherever he wants, both sides of the plate, whatever he wants, when he's right. But that's his bread and butter right there, the fastball. 2-2 to Duggar. And he got him. Oh, he shook it, went to the changeup. 5 Ks from Max Scherzer. 3 up, 3 down, second inning. He's retired 5 in a row. T-Mobile covers the most interstate highway miles with 5G. Home or away, stay connected to your team with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Dodger Stadium, open since 1962. Dodgers and Giants moved out west to California in 1958. And this is the 3rd oldest ballpark, and it is a gem still. It is clean as a whistle. It's still one of the great venues in all of sport. We were here for the wild card game. It was rocking. They had a walk-off moment, and they're back to greet their Dodgers here tonight as Justin Turner, who homered in that wild card game in the 4th inning. But Ronnie, he's been slumping at the plate here down the stretch and into the postseason.
Yeah, that was his only hit, and you go back to his last 5 postseasons, and he's won for his last 20.
0 for 9 in this series. And Turner shoots one foul. And Angel Hernandez playing a little pogo down there. Down he goes. People losing their headwear tonight. Hit the deck, Angel.
Fair or foul or get out of the way.
He dropped the hat. Fumble.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah.
That's his personality, of course. Justin Turner, one of the best players in the history of the Dodgers in the postseason. .340 hitter in the division series. 23 RBIs in 29 games.
Well, it was certainly loud in here on Wednesday last week. Turner had one of those moments himself back in 2017. Hit a walk-off in Game 2 of the NLCS against the Chicago Cubs. And until last Wednesday in the wild card game, that's about as loud as any ballpark I've ever experienced.
I was going to say, how can you tell? It's loud here all the time.
It's rocking. And with the reputation of a late arriving crowd in the regular season, certainly that is not the case in the postseason. They were here ready for action at the time of first pitch, and it was very loud to start this ball game tonight, just the way the Dodger players hoped it would be. These two storied franchises matching up in the postseason with a trip to the NLCS on the line. Bouncing ball out to Crawford, sure-handed shortstop, and he makes a play. Turner is retired, and Alex Wood is retired 4 in a row for the Giants.
Yeah, 2 ground balls in a row. If he's right, that's what you're going to see a lot. Brian, you know what's interesting about these kind of games is that you almost feel, if you're a Dodger fan, that it's an imperial right for Max Scherzer to pitch great in this Game 3 game. But if you're Alex Wood, it gives you an opportunity to take down a king in a huge game, the biggest game in this series.
And just as the Dodgers flip the narrative of this series with a win in Game 2, with Scherzer ready for Game 3, the Giants could certainly do the same thing with a win here tonight, knowing that Logan Webb would be waiting in a Game 5 scenario against Walker Buehler, which was the Game 1 starting pitching matchup.
I'd like to see that again.
Absolutely. In San Francisco, that would be. Chris Taylor takes a strike. Well, it had to feel good to walk back on this field again for Taylor. His last at bat on this field was that dramatic game-winning homer in the bottom of the 9th inning against St. Louis.
He flew around the bases.
A struggling hitter coming up with the signature moment, one of them here in the postseason, of Alex Reyes. And out it went. And on to San Francisco went the Dodgers. Never forget that moment. He called it the best moment of his career.
He'll be asked about that only for the next 60 years or so.
Walk-off home runs in a winner-take-all postseason game. Taylor in the wild card game. Encarnacion did it in 2016. You go back to Aaron Boone's famous home run against Wakefield, Chris Chambliss, and then how about Bill Mazeroski of the Pirates. And it was the 4th walk-off home run in Dodger postseason history, and that's a pretty cool class as well. Muncy and Justin Turner, and of course Kirk Gibson in 1988, one of the most iconic Dodger moments in their illustrious history in the World Series, of Dennis Eckersley and the A's, and a World Championship team in '88. They finally got another one last season. Taylor to center field. Coming in on it is Duggar, and he'll make the play for the out. All the fly balls have been pretty benign so far, handled routinely. And Alex Wood has retired 5 straight.
Here's repeating what we said in the open, Brian. 13 times he's made a start, Wood, after a loss by the Giants, and the Giants have won 12 of those games, 12-1.
Wood is the 4th pitcher to start a postseason game for both the Dodgers and the Giants. Other 3 occurred when the teams were in New York. Names like Rube Marquardt and Freddie Fitzsimmons and Sal Magley, the barber. So that's a pretty small list, and Wood was chomping at the bit to make this start. We talked to Gabe Kapler today. He was not committing to whether Wood knew he was starting this game from the beginning. We did not know as we left the air for Game 2. That was a post-Game 2 decision. But he presented each scenario, Game 3 or Game 4. We have to guess that it would be Anthony DeSclafani tomorrow. The Giants have not yet named a starter. The Dodgers have. Tony Gonsolin will pitch, at least start tomorrow's game for LA. As A.J. Pollock, a swing and a miss, 1-2 the count.
Pollock is a great fastball hitter. We got a lot of slow stuff from Wood tonight.
Had a big moment in Game 2. Drove in a pair with a double. This time it's a strikeout, and that will end the inning. And 6 in a row for Alex Wood. Picks up his second K as well. Now stay tuned for a message brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of MLB. Max Scherzer at the end of a 7-year contract, one of the great pitchers of this generation, and still going strong at age 37. Over 3,000 career strikeouts. His second postseason start for the Dodgers. Alex Wood puts it in play. Scherzer will let Turner handle this one, and Wood, who can run, he is thrown out. Sprinting down the line is Alex Wood, and there is out number 1.
Well, the big play here is Max had a chance to get it, but he made the prudent move, let it go, and let the fielder make the play, and Turner made it. That's now 0 for his last 39 for Alex Wood. Max Scherzer is 0 for his last 59. So after this game, the league is going to vote on the DH. 0 for 98 for both.
So, but what if a pitcher gets a hit tonight? Maybe it swings the vote.
Well, that's why they're going to have it. If they don't, we know the way it's going.
Tommy La Stella stands in. One of the signature moments of Game 2 was a pitcher at the plate, Julio Urias, who delivered an RBI single, an intentional walk to get to Urias, and he had a big hit, and that kind of opened things up for the Dodgers. He drove in their first run of this National League Division Series.
First hit with a runner in scoring position.
Second time around now, Tommy La Stella, and that one is in there for strike 2.
Boy, that ball's off the plate. I feel like a great pitcher doesn't need any breaks. If he's going to get those pitches, it's going to make it awfully tough on the Giants tonight. That's why La Stella's taking some time.
Hoping Ted Barrett will readjust his sights. 0-2 the count. Got him. Scherzer with a strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. Pitching has been the story in each of the first 2 games. Logan Webb with a gem in Game 1. A moment ago, Lauren caught up with Logan.
Logan, how do you watch this lineup knowing you might have to navigate them again soon?
You kind of just watch them the same way you watched them in the regular season. You know what type of lineup they have. It's an incredible group over there. So it's kind of hard because Woody's a lefty and I'm a righty, but it's more just seeing their swings and how they've been hitting the ball.
Biggest challenge pitching in these conditions?
Conditions like tonight?
Yeah, windy.
I don't know. It feels like we're in San Francisco right now.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of feels like home. So maybe that's a little advantage to us.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Logan Webb, thanks to Lauren, and thanks to Logan for doing that for us. As Yastrzemski hoists one of the air, high fly ball. Mookie Betts converging, and he'll make the catch. Notice he's got glasses on, by the way. All that debris in the air, trying to keep it out of his eyes. 7-pitch inning from Max Scherzer, retires the side in order. To the bottom of the 3rd inning, one of the loudest ovations of the night for that man, the great Albert Pujols. He's in the starting lineup tonight. It is his first start in a postseason game since 2014. That was in a division series against Kansas City while playing for the Angels. And Albert Pujols, a great year against left-handed pitching all year for the Dodgers, and on the first pitch he fouls it away. And from one legend to another, and the Dodgers are full of future Hall of Famers. We got one in the dugout. Clayton Kershaw, thanks for spending a few moments here with us, Clayton. Right out of the gates, I'm wanting to know what you're thinking being a spectator watching Albert Pujols hit, and he's on your team.
Yeah, better to be on this side than Woody right now. But, yeah, Albert's been awesome. He's been such a great part of our team so far. And against lefties, man, he's been unbelievable. So it's a good matchup for us tonight. And hopefully gets a few at-bats and does something cool.
Give us an idea what kind of presence he's been when he's not playing. We've seen him come off the bench quite a bit, getting the starts against left-handed pitching. He's had great success. Still a very competitive player at 41. But what about all those moments away from the field?
Yeah, you want to get hugged by Albert. It's a powerful hug. It is a very powerful, embraceful hug. So it means you did something good, and he's been awesome in there. You know, I think I don't know if we knew we needed it, but having a veteran guy like that's been awesome. And ooh, he might have hit a double right there.
Yeah, a little flare. Good call. That's going to get down. Double's a little aggressive.
Maybe not double. That's fair. That's fair.
That's single to right for Albert Pujols. Well, that gets them on their feet. Yeah, the bees are out, but it goes for a hit.
You feel like Albert's maybe never had a hit like this in the entire postseason. Gets sawed off by Alex Wood. So strong still at 41 years old, able to dump it in front of Yastrzemski.
19 career postseason home runs, an OPS over 1,000 in the postseason alone for Albert Pujols, and he is aboard, and he snaps this string of 6 in a row retired by Alex Wood. And that brings up Will Smith now. Clayton Kershaw with us. We won't keep him long, but I do want to ask you a couple of things, Clayton, as we navigate this inning. Number one, the weather conditions. What are you hearing in the dugout? What are you experiencing yourself in that dugout with the dust and the wind and all that's going on out here?
I've never seen anything like it here. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's been perfect weather for however long I've been here, and the one day it's been a little windy, but I feel like it's dying down a little bit right now. And you know, I think Scherzer might have had a little trouble in the first, but I think he settled in pretty good. So I think we're in a good spot now.
You know, Clayton, I was just wondering, you lefties tend to stick together. Woody was here for a few seasons, had some really good seasons. What do you see so far tonight?
Yeah, it's Woody. That's not going to work.
In the air to left, and Wade will make the catch. Go ahead, Clayton.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing what he usually does. You know, he's pounding that fastball early. He's getting some swings up. You know, I think he's doing that a little bit more recently. He's been going up in the zone a little bit more. Modern baseball, you know, up in the zone. So he's been doing that, and his slider's always been really good. He's able to bury that, and hopefully we can lay off the ones in the dirt, and I think if we do that, we'll be all right.
Clayton, I know you're not feeling great, but just wondering, where are you right now as far as you know, getting back on the field and being top notch next season?
Yeah, it's been a weird postseason. Obviously, you know, I wouldn't do anything to be out there with these guys, but I still feel like we have the best chance of winning this whole thing, and I'm going to be fine. It just it's going to be a little while. So next spring training.
Scherzer gets a bunt down, and Bryant makes a play. And
they're trying to get Albert to go to third right there.
I thought I heard that.
That was a little aggressive too, I think.
So Scherzer gets the bunt down. Real quick on Scherzer, Clayton, and he was raving about being your teammate. You two, with the starting pitchers especially. I mean, that's a pretty good seat to be next to for all the other starters. But what's that been like, working with Max Scherzer and doing what you guys do, and especially at such a high level for so many years?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Scherzer's fit in so great with us, and I've loved being his teammate. I've loved seeing him go about it. He's intense, man. He is intense, and he doesn't ever turn it off. And you know, I told him I beat him in a one-on-one game, and he just went off. He couldn't handle it. So it's been a blast, and you know, I hope he sticks around for a long time. He's been awesome.
You guys will be connected forever as two of the all-time greats in this generation. We're sorry you're having your elbow issues, man. I know it's killing you not to be able to perform, but we appreciate your time tonight, Clayton.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Clayton.
Clayton Kershaw, and an elbow injury there at the end of the season, and just a disappointing setup for him that he was not able to continue. And now Posey, who was just crossed up, on his way to the mound to get it straight with Alex Wood.
Expecting a breaking ball, he gets the express, somehow gets his glove up in front of his face to protect himself.
It's called a strike. Those great hands that make him a great hitter saved him right there.
So does that make framing pitches overrated? No framing there.
You know, oftentimes when you're crossed up like that, you don't get a called strike.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
That was just right down the middle, and I think it was going to hit Ted Barrett or it was going to hit Buster Posey.
Maybe that's what it was. Ted said, if it's going to hit me, it's got to be a strike.
2 men are out. Albert Pujols at second base. And Betts, little half swing. Wow. He goes. That is a quick thumb over there by Pat Hoberg. That's the second time he has raised the thumb on a potential check swing. This one,
no complaint from Mookie Betts.
Appreciate Clayton Kershaw joining us on a headset. Always enjoy talking baseball with him. He's as wise as it gets. He's had an incredible career here in Los Angeles, and we don't know if he's played his last game, pitched his last game as a Dodger. He'll be a free agent. Dodgers have 5 big name free agents at the end of the season, and that's one of them.
Well, the great pitchers, to me, always combine 3 things. Great talent, of course, great work ethic, and intelligence, which is sometimes not thought of. PhDs and how to get people out.
Wood deals. Betts turns it around, foul into the net. Now Kershaw with his 3 Cy Youngs. Scherzer with his 3 Cy Youngs. Albert Pujols with his 3 MVPs. You get the idea. They have a roster. You start looking at guys like Mookie Betts and these players that are now in their prime. These individuals like Betts and Seager and Trey Turner. I mean, you're looking at potentially 5 or 6 Hall of Famers down the road that played on this 2021 Dodger team. Inside to Betts, and the count 1-2 now.
Mookie checking the count.
Alex Wood started this game retiring 6 in a row. Has had a couple of Ks. Pujols with a flare single to start this inning. And bunted to second base after a Smith fly ball out. Now Betts, another one just ripped foul. That's the slider by Wood, just boring down and in on a right-handed batter.
He's thrown it in such a place that's all Mookie can do. That's the only place he can hit that ball hard.
You might have heard Kershaw call him Woody. He's still very close friends with many of these Dodgers, teammates with many of these current players. Still in a fantasy football league with some of these guys as well as Wood. But combatants tonight. And there's nothing more that Alex Wood would like to do tonight than pick up a win for the Giants and put the Giants ahead 2-1 in this series, going to a game 4 against a team that wasn't quite sure he was good enough to be a starter. And that's saying something, because the Dodgers have a great starting rotation. But that's really was the goal for Wood. He wanted to be a starting pitcher. He believed in himself. And that's where he found that opportunity in San Francisco.
There's ex-Dodgers that have performed well all over the postseason, whether it's Jock Peterson for the Atlanta Braves or Kike Hernandez for the Boston Red Sox.
And by the way, the Red Sox have just eliminated the Tampa Bay Rays, a team with the best record in the American League. If you're coming over from that game to ours, we welcome you on a windy night at Dodger Stadium. A scoreless game. Pujols in the starting lineup tonight for LA with a left-hander on the mound. He's got the lone hit so far. Alex Wood, first time through the batting order, holds the Dodgers to 1 for 8 with a sacrifice bunt by Scherzer. So here we are with Betts at the plate. 2-2 the count. Giants threatened off Scherzer in the first. He has been locked down since. He's retired 8 in a row. Another 2-strike pitch and missed badly off the glove of Posey. Pujols to third. Be a wild pitch.
Doesn't look like a comfortable pitcher to catch so far for Posey with Wood. This year, in his 26 starts, he threw 13 times to Kirk Casale and 13 times to Buster Posey.
This is a spot where the Dodgers shine brightly in Game 2. They were 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position in Game 2. 6 hits, 15 at-bats. And now Pujols at third base. And Mookie Betts in a long battle here with Alex Wood. Popped him up. Keep an eye on it. La Stella. He's got it. And the inning is over. Alex Wood gets through 3. 3 scoreless for the Giant hurler. We are still scoreless as we go to the 4th.
Want to stay up to date? Hey Siri, show me the MLB postseason schedule.
Here we go to inning number 4. Giants coming up. Buster Posey will lead off for San Francisco. Brandon Crawford to follow, then Chris Bryant. The 3 individuals who all homered in Game 1. Max Scherzer back to work. He was unsettled to start this game, Ron. He gave up a walk to start it to La Stella and then a single to Posey. Has retired 8 straight since Posey's base hit to right field.
The wind blew him off the mound on one of those deliveries in the first inning, but now has settled in.
One and 2 the count. Buster Posey in the series with 3 singles, a double, and a homer, and they're all to the opposite field. And when a hitter's going to the opposite field and hitting it firmly like Posey, you know he's locked in. Hit a bomb of a home run to right in Game 1. And a wave and a miss. Scherzer had him out in front. That big nasty slider by Max Scherzer, and strikeout number 7. And Scherzer is on a run now. 9 in a row retired.
See how he gets on the side of that seam and spins it, and it wasn't only the location of that slider, it was the change of speed on that slider that had Posey out front.
So 9 straight, 6 of those 9 outs are via the K. And here is Brandon Crawford. On the ground, Pujols, no problem. Out number 2. Well, we're back at it tomorrow to start this 2-day run in the National League. The Atlanta Braves have the Brewers on the brink of elimination. Braves win today, another shutout in that series. Atlanta 3-0 over Milwaukee. Game 4 tomorrow at 5 Eastern right here on TBS. And then the Giants and Dodgers will follow that, and somebody will have the other on the brink of elimination as well. That's why we call them pivotal Game 3s, Ron.
I get it now.
Chris Bryant, that is down the line, left field, going to get down for a base hit. And Bryant will settle for a single. It was played well by Pollock, but the second hit for San Francisco, and it comes with 2 outs in the 4th inning.
We've seen some hits from Bryant on the same exact pitch, just a breaking ball or something soft out over the middle of the plate and down. He's got long arms, able to get to those pitches and hook them into left field.
Here's Lamont Wade Jr. 2 outs in the 4th. Giants with their second hit. They've had a walk as well. 3 base runners against Scherzer. Shift is on for Lamont Wade. Typically gets the starts against the right-handed pitchers. He is one of the many platoons that the Giants have operated in this year. A strike from Scherzer. 1-1 to count.
It's only the second curveball from Scherzer this evening. That's the throw over sign. Chris Bryant's not going anywhere. Courtesy toss.
Wade mired in a long slump right now. He's just 2 for his last 32 at the plate. That includes a pop-up to the shortstop for the first out of the second inning. But he earned the nickname this year, Late Night Lamont, for a reason. Clutch, late game scenarios. His best year as a big leaguer, and went from tabs of a role player with the Minnesota Twins to an impact player with the San Francisco Giants. Scherzer deals, and a swing and a miss. 2-2 on Wade. Yeah, that's why you get the nickname Late Night. Most in baseball, 8 game-tying or go-ahead hits in the 9th inning or later.
He earned that nickname.
2 outs. Scherzer with 7 strikeouts already. Bryant the runner at first, and another check on Bryant. Talk about the wind and all the challenges of it. Remember, the base runners from first to second running right into that wind. Here's a 2-2, and Wade pops it foul and out of play. Back our way. Count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here he comes, and he got him. A swing and a miss. Scherzer with his 8th strikeout already through his first 4 innings. Zeros on the board. Dodgers coming to bat. The 2021 National League Division Series on TBS. It's presented by Good Sam. Big names and a lot of anxiety in this series as we start to make our way to the middle of it now. Game 3 of this series turns into a best of 3. Now the Dodgers grabbing the home field advantage. The next 2 nights will be here at Dodger Stadium. Alex Wood pitching well. Turner lines one to left field right at Wade for out number 1. Hit it hard, nothing to show for it. Let's check in with Lauren Shahadi. She's got more on the former Dodger, Alex Wood.
Yeah, he pitched 4 scoreless innings for LA in last year's World Series. Came out of the pen. Alex said, I love this team, but I'm a starter, and their needs were in the bullpen, so San Francisco's a better fit. Ron, you know every pitcher sees themselves a certain way on the mound. Dave Roberts told me today, Alex wants the bulk. He didn't buy into a role in the bullpen for us, but he's a stud, and we don't win the World Series last year without him.
So it's ironic that he always wanted to be a starting pitcher and put in the bullpen. He played a pivotal role in 2020. But he's been a guy ever since he came up with the Atlanta Braves. You saw what he can do as a starting pitcher, and his best seasons as a Dodger were as a starting pitcher. An all-star in 2017.
Yeah, 16-game winner that year. Had a 2.72 ERA. That's been his best career year. And then went to Cincinnati after the 18 season. Brian Bannister, the terrific director of pitching, was telling us that the idea that Wood would come to San Francisco and start to look at that 16 and 17 season. They went back to a lot of video of that, and that was part of the process of recognizing what worked, what didn't work. And as you said when we hit the air tonight, that curveball, that breaking ball of Alex Wood was the centerpiece for everything else.
Yeah, when he was at his best, that breaking ball was the centerpiece. The issue for Alex Wood is that he's got an outstanding changeup too, and throws hard enough from the left side. And this is what he did out of the bullpen for the Dodgers last year in the LCS than, of course, in the World Series. 6 2/3 innings pitched, only 1 run allowed. But now that he's made that the cornerstone, it makes his fastball better, and it makes his changeup better.
Wood pitched in 4 games last year, all out of the pen. Did he go? He did not. And Seager is aboard with a walk. A 1-out walk. First walk issued by Wood. He's given up the 1 hit and the 1 walk.
See the check swing here. Boy. So the third base umpire, Gabe Morales, is a little looser interpretation of the check swing than first base umpire Pat Hoberg. That was a missed call.
Saw Gabe Kapler there, pitching coach Andrew Bailey, all disappointed. Wood thought he had a punch out as well. So it is a base runner instead. There was a pretty famous check swing in this ballpark earlier this year that tipped a game the Giants' way. They won in extra innings. Remember, the Giants won this division by 1 single game, and there were a lot of moments, but one circled around a check swing that was not called a swing.
Darren Ruff was the batter.
With the bases loaded, it tied the game. The Giants won in extra innings.
See both pitchers either blowing into their hands, licking their fingers, rubbing their foreheads for perspiration to try to get a grip on the baseball.
Temperatures in the 50s and very low humidity as Justin Turner pulls one foul. Seager a 1-out walk. Turner grounded to short his last time up. Wood a ground ball pitcher. Over 50% of balls in play hit on the ground, and Turner chased one up and away. Dodger hitters will tell you they're trying to see the ball up against Wood, and that one not only was up, it had some run away from Turner, and he missed it.
In his first at bat, he fouled a couple up there too. So it's a pitch, I think, when you have a sinker baller or a guy who likes to live in the bottom of the zone, you say you get him up, have a chance to do some damage. Not yet though.
And Wood fires him a breaking ball. He just got a piece. Both catchers have the painted stickers on their fingernails. You could tell it's probably tough visibility tonight. Posey going with the orange. And Will Smith, the Dodger catcher, with the white. These are little pieces of tape, little stickers they put on the nail. Yeah, it's a called strike 3. Turner didn't like it. Looked like it got a piece of the inside corner. And Alex Wood straightens him up, picks up a strikeout, his 3rd.
Well, I think this has been one of the keys to his success early on. He's not been afraid to throw that fastball inside. He's done it to Betts, right-handed hitter, and now does it to Turner, and it catches the plate.
He's having a night, Alex Wood. This is exactly what the Giants were hoping for tonight. Wants the ball in the big games, has delivered in the big games in the past, and he's going toe-to-toe with the alpha dog on the mound and Max Scherzer. 2 outs.
Anyone who's been around Alex Wood knows he has a little alpha in himself too.
Always thinks he is the alpha dog. I mean, you got to be that way, right?
Right.
It's kind of a running joke in the non-starting days, but you love those on the starting days.
This is the toughest scrum in the world, making it to the major leagues. You better believe in yourself.
A ball and no strikes. A little quick release there by Wood, and he misses high to Taylor. No score here at the bottom of the 4th inning. Giants' best threat was in the first. Stranded 2. Had 2 on with 1 out. Dodgers had a runner at 3rd last inning. Could not score him. Had a runner at 2nd with 2 outs. Could not score. Saw our T-Mobile base cam taking you down on the field at Dodger Stadium.
Well, we've seen one big 3-0 swing by Buster Posey in game 1. Will we have one here with Taylor?
with A.J. Pollock on deck. Taylor taking a little, or Wood taking a little extra time here. 2 men are out. Runner at first is Seager, and Wood walked him on 4 straight. 4-pitch walk, second walk of the inning. The Dodgers with 2 on. First time they've had multiple runners on base tonight against Alex Wood. And that's going to bring up A.J. Pollock. Andrew Bailey, the pitching coach, on his way out. The former Rookie of the Year in the American League. The A's.
3 of the Dodgers walked on game 2, scored.
You mentioned it in our open tonight, Ron.
Yeah.
The Dodgers went in ambush mode in game 2. Pollock was one of those. They had 4 first pitch swings. And for A.J. Pollock, a first pitch swing on a breaking ball from Leon turned into 2 runs.
Well, a couple of things here. 2 runs, like you said. But Pollock, who's been nursing a hamstring strain, hustled it into a double. Those are both good signs. He would add a blocked line drive single to right field later.
So into the fire he goes with 2 outs. And A.J. Pollock ready to fire on that first one. 6 through 9 hitters. Such a difference from game 1 to game 2. Pollock was in the middle of that group, as was Julio Urias, the pitcher. With 7 hits in game 2 in this part of the batting order. Taylor, Bellinger, Pollock, and Urias.
I thought that Wood would feature a lot of breaking pitches to see Castro get up in the bullpen for the Giants. Would feature a lot of soft pitches, breaking balls and changeups, but a lot of fastballs to Pollock so far. A great fastball hitter.
2 men are on. In the dirt, blocked by Posey. Runner stay put.
2-0 count here. Pollock 10 for 26 with 2 home runs against Wood. An outstanding block by Buster as he flips that glove over and just smothers it. See the manager talking with Andrew Bailey. When it comes to this time, it's like pitchers can lose it in a hurry, and you better make sure you have someone ready to come in.
Albert Pujols on deck. Seager and Taylor aboard. Pollock rips one foul into the net. That's been a familiar foul ball on the same pitch, the slider that's inside but in the middle of the strike zone, and these hitters, Betts and Pollock and others, can do nothing with it.
It's the one where he's trying to throw it for a strike and he throws it soft enough but they can't keep it fair.
First, second, third time through the order. We're in the second time through the order now with A.J. Pollock. Seager drew a 1-out walk. Taylor walked with 2 outs. And the tipping point has arrived here for Alex Wood. Started him with a fastball, then back-to-back sliders. And he's behind in the count, 2-1.
Changing the signs again. Remember, there was a cross-up earlier between Wood and Posey. He checks the signs again.
Has that card in his back pocket with the sequencing. Posey slowly going through the signals. Here he comes. On the ground, one hopper. Crawford goes the easy way to second, and Alex Wood gets out of the mess. A couple of walks, but the Dodgers strand 2, and Alex Wood has 4 shutout up against Max Scherzer. To the 5th we go.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Good Sam RV Parks, America's largest campground network, and by Taco Bell.
Postseason baseball on TBS. Nothing quite like it. Had some thrilling moments already. Evan Longoria will start it for the Giants. Max Scherzer back to work as we go to the 5th inning. First team to advance into the league championship series, the Boston Red Sox, as they come back, win 3 in a row against the team with the best record in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays, Longoria's former team. Swing and a miss. Longoria quickly down 0-2 on Scherzer.
Kike Hernandez with the game-winning sacrifice fly for the Red Sox.
Jock Peterson and Kike Hernandez, a couple of former Dodgers that are shining brightly in the postseason of 2021. Jock Peterson hit a 3-run homer today in the Braves win over Milwaukee. We saw a pretty good powwow between innings between Gabe Kapler, Kai Correa, the bench coach, Andrew Bailey, JP Martinez, the assistant pitching coach. And it is going to be interesting here. Alex Wood's spot in the batting order is due up third, but he is pitching beautifully. Those middle game decisions are difficult to make in a game like this. Scherzer with his 8 strikeouts. And you see the variation of pitches he's getting them with.
You know, he's got 5 different pitches. He has strikeouts on 4 of the 5 so far tonight.
Fly ball left field, hit pretty well. Back on it is Pollock. This ball's carrying, and this ball is gone. Evan Longoria puts the Giants on top. First hit of the postseason this year for Longoria. He touches them all, and the Giants, a team that led the National League in homers this year, get a big hit and homer from Longoria.
Because of the struggles that Longoria has gone through, a lot of folks were thinking that maybe he wouldn't make it into the lineup tonight, but a guy with his kind of pedigree always gets a shot, and he shows us a shot.
Here's Steven Duggar. He shows bunt. Takes a ball.
All breaking balls until this pitch right here from Scherzer. Tried to blow him away with a fastball like he did the first time up, and Longoria was ready for it. Caught it right out in front and through the wind. Still hit it into the bleachers.
That is a man's home run right there. That wind blowing from the left field foul pole to the right field pole. And Longoria, despite the winds, knocks it out of here. His 10th career postseason home run. And that could certainly change what the Giants want to do moving forward concerning Wood. We'll see. And a swing and a miss. Duggar chases one upstairs, a changeup. Gabe Kapler does have Darren Ruff already on deck.
Ruff's on deck. Trevor Rogers is in the bullpen as they start to make their move.
Wheels in motion now. Giants take the lead here in inning number 5 as Duggar takes a ball. 2-2 the count.
Tyler Rogers. Check myself. I think I said Trevor.
And Scherzer comes back with a strikeout. Strikeout number 9. And it is going to be Alex Wood to hit. They pull Ruff back. So the pitcher will bat. And Evan Longoria cannot hit it any better than that. Right through the wind. 396-foot home run. And that was a Lone Depot Home Means Everything RBI. For every RBI during the NLCS, Lone Depot will be donating $1,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. That's on top of over $500,000 they've already donated this year.
That's been a constant call so far for Gabe Kapler. 2 times in the second game. Game 2 he pulled. It looked like he was going to take Gossman out of the game. He sent him back up to hit. Doing it again with Alex Wood here in the 5th inning. Team scoring first in this postseason, 11-3.
Giants get on the board first with the Longoria homer to start the 5th. And Wood puts it in play. Bouncer over to Justin Turner, and there is out number 2.
Before the first game, you and I were talking about the animosity that has been between these two clubs, and their great battles over the years. But that anxiety really was the problem for these two teams because they played so well all season long that home run there by Longoria, you can't hear a sound with 55,000 people there.
Quiet, just what the Giants were hoping to do, just what the Dodgers did at Oracle Park on Saturday night. They took the crowd out of it. These two teams at this moment have each won 108 games. Think about that. 108 wins. And one of them's going home. They've inflicted so much pain upon the other over the years, over the centuries. This is a rivalry that goes back to the New York days, back to 1884 when they first started playing against one another. The New York Giants playing at the Polo Grounds, and the Brooklyn Dodgers playing at Ebbets Field. La Stella takes a ball, 2-1 to count. The famous 1951 shot heard around the world, Bobby Thompson of the Giants. That was the last of a 3-game series, not officially a postseason game. Still one of the most iconic moments in baseball history, and Russ Hodges' call. The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant. 70 years have passed since then, and it's still legendary. Trying to help him out. Scherzer deals. Routine ground ball out to Justin Turner over on the shift. He'll make the play, and Scherzer gets 3 in a row after the Longoria long ball. Evan Longoria, 10th career postseason homer, a wind-defying blast, and it's 1-0 San Francisco. Evan Longoria with a moment here at Dodger Stadium off Max Scherzer. He goes deep. As we take a look at today's odds, powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. Total combined homers 2.5 is the line, or the number there. And Longoria puts the first one on the board. Alex Wood, because of that homer, continues. Albert Pujols leads off, had a little flare single. His last time up, hits that one sharply through for a base hit. And Albert Pujols 2 for 2 tonight against Alex Wood. And now the wheels in motion for Gabe Kapler as Tyler Rogers, who was throwing last inning, continues in the Giants bullpen.
Not only 2 for 2 for Albert Pujols, but the only 2 hits for the Dodgers so far this evening off Wood.
Pujols will be pinch run for. It's a good day's work. Billy McKinney will run for Albert Pujols. Andrew Bailey on the phone to the Giants bullpen. Max Scherzer's spot in the batting order is due next. So now that onus shifts to Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts was telling us, Will Smith, why is he batting 8th? To protect Albert? He said no. Against left-handed pitching, his approach against righties is to kind of go out and get the ball. Against righties, against lefties, he tends to jam himself with that approach.
Well, the numbers bear it out, even though it's a cross matchup. Smith's numbers against lefties, hitting just .231 this year with 6 homers and 28 RBIs. Numbers significantly lower than across the board against right-handed batters, where he hits .270. Right-handed pitchers, I should say, hits .270 with 19 homers, and it really shows up in the OPS. OPS against right-handed pitchers .912, against lefties .732. Had a good cut at that one. Fouls it back into the net. Let's check in with Lauren.
Well, I asked Will yesterday how much he focuses on his hitting and fully expected him to say not much, like many catchers do, right? But 25 home runs, his at-bats matter to him. He told me, I watch video, I game plan against pitchers. I try to keep my hands quiet, short to the ball. He said, to me, it's part of my duty to my pitcher to try to manufacture runs for him.
He's been clutch, Lauren. 2 hits in game 1, had a homer in game 2, and he lifts that one in the air to right field. Long run in for Yastrzemski, and he'll make the play for the out. While the wind is still significant, it is blowing hard. It's not what we saw in the first inning and a half. I mean, it's a stiff breeze. There's no doubt about that, but it has not had an effect on the outfielders thus far. And we had a visit with Clayton Kershaw on the headset in the dugout, and he said he thinks it's calmed down. At least that's what he was experiencing down there and hearing from his teammates.
Watch out on the attempt here, probably by Scherzer for another sac bunt. Not a lot of experience, Brian, at first base. It's his first start with the Giants, although he made the play in the first sacrifice bunt. He only had 10 as a Cub.
The way Scherzer bunts, you would not teach. Let's put it that way. But he has gotten down 2 sacrifice bunts, one in the wild card game, and he got down a sac bunt earlier tonight in the 3rd inning. That top hand barely slides down the bat. And he bunts right through it.
When you don't get that right hand way up on the bat, it's really hard to maneuver the bat when you face a breaking ball or something that's moving in the strike zone. But we know that he had that incident in the batting cage bunting and ended up breaking his nose, I believe, right?
Did miss a start, though.
No, of course not.
64 plate appearances all season long, including the postseason. Has not got on, and that's a pop-up, and that's a strikeout. So a couple of outs here after the leadoff single by Pujols. Dave Roberts lets Scherzer bat, down 1-0. He's gone. It's a strikeout for Wood, his 4th. And with 2 men out, top of the order, Mookie Betts coming up, and that's going to be the end of the line, it looks like, for Alex Wood. So Kapler's going to make the call. Alex Wood gave him everything they could have dreamed for in this start. He will exit with a runner at first, his responsibility. And at this point, 4 2/3 scoreless innings. Wood is out. Tyler Rogers is in. Betts coming up.
By authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Time for Next Matters Most, presented by Roman. And Ron, the Giants workhorse, Tyler Rogers, on the mound here in the 5th inning.
I mean, 80 appearances this year. You see the innings, 81. He's a guy that has an arsenal that no one else has in the game. Throws from down under, good fastball, but almost a physics-defying rising slider.
Alex Wood, 4 2/3 scoreless, giving up 2 hits. Runner at first, his responsibility. He got out of a jam in the 4th inning, stranding 2. Just 2 hits, 2 walks. Excellent performance out of Wood. And now Rogers facing Mookie Betts. Tyler Rogers has a twin brother who was at the ballpark in San Francisco. Taylor Rogers with the Minnesota Twins. He is a left-handed pitcher. Tyler a right-handed pitcher. The odds that brothers and twins make it to the big leagues together and enjoying each other's success. But the Giants talk about seeking the funky pitchers, and you're getting about as much funk as you can get tonight in Alex Wood to Tyler Rogers. One extreme to the other, from the left side to the right side. 2-0 the count. And that one misses. 3 balls, no strikes on Betts. How about that release point right there? So that up top in the white, that is major league average. And then to your point, Ron, nobody throws it from where Tyler Rogers does.
North and the South Pole.
And he hits with a strike.
Regular season experience for both bullpens, a little over 1,800 games for both bullpens. Postseason experience, 133 games for the Dodgers bullpen, 20 for the Giants bullpen.
Huge discrepancy, but both dominant bullpens to the regular season as Rogers pumps a strike in there. 3-2. He's gotten himself back in the count now. Giants just scored on a Evan Longoria solo homer off Scherzer to start the 5th. 2 outs, runner at first, bottom of the 5th. Rogers deals, runner goes, a hot one, gloved by Crawford. Got to go across the diamond, off balance, no problem. Heck of a play by Brandon Crawford. Alex Wood sees his runner stranded, and the Giants lead this Game 3 of the National League Division Series. 1-0 San Francisco. They come to bat in the 6th when we continue.
You know how important this game is. Tyler Rogers did not appear in the 5th inning at all during the regular season. And you want to be smooth like Brandon Crawford? That's right off the bat. Picked it to his left and a little sidearm throw for the out.
All of that was cool. The release, the play by Crawford, the off-balance throw. Betts was not running down the line. He's been dealing with a hip injury, various injuries throughout the year. Something to keep an eye on. Billy McKinney, who pinch ran for Pujols, stays in the game to play first. Scherzer back at it. Yastrzemski is swinging a foul, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see now where the Giants go and their path to the finish line with their bullpen. Rogers normally the guy that sets up for the closer, but sensing a moment right there, Gabe Kapler bringing him on in the 5th inning.
Tyler Rogers did get 6 outs on September 30th. Maybe they were taking a look to see how far they could push him.
Yeah, Giants bullpen is quiet. Certainly feels like he's got the 6th. 1-2 the count. Yastrzemski hits it hard to center field. On the run is Taylor, and he makes the catch. Chris Taylor ran right to the spot on this windy night. Beautiful play by the speedy Taylor, and Yastrzemski is out number 1 of the 6th inning.
Boy, they say that ball is straight over your head is the hardest one. He took his eye off it to pick up a little more speed, pick up where he was, and then once he hit the track, made the catch and the leap to get his back up against the wall. Fine play here to start the 6th.
Mark that one. That feels like one Curtis Granderson is going to show us how to do in the studio post game. He used to run him down just like that. Here's Buster Posey now. Posey singled in the 1st. Already his 5th hit of this series. He's 1 out of 2. Scherzer came back, struck him out with a slider in the 4th. Scherzer sitting on 9 Ks. It's that same slider that got him back in the 4th inning, almost producing the exact swing from Posey. Go back to it. Why not? 0-2 pitch. Didn't bite on that one. Posey's been a monster in the postseason at the plate, but especially in the division series. We saw one of his great moments in a division series, hitting a grand slam in Game 5 of the 2012 NLDS against the Cincinnati Reds.
It's after the Reds had won the first 2 games in San Francisco.
Remember, that was the first year that they had done the 1-game wild card play-in, but there was no built-in off day, so the Giants and Reds were waiting because of the travel situation and how it was packed in. There was no you couldn't do the 2-2-1 format. Yeah. You had to go the 2-3 format. Posey in the air, center field. Much easier chance for Taylor here, and there is out number 2. Couple of fly ball outs to center field. Well, been some great defense in this series. The Dodgers have turned in a number of terrific plays, and a lot of those passing through Trey Turner.
Yeah, Trey Turner's been outstanding and going after the ball to his left and his right. This is the play of game number 2 with Mookie Betts getting Flores at third base and Taylor just moments ago with a big play here to start the 6th.
So 2 men are out. Here is Brandon Crawford. And you always have to point out center fielders, you don't make the diving catch. The diving catches end up in the highlight reels. But the jump and the route by Chris Taylor with the speed gets right to the spot.
That's
made
right.
it easy on himself at the end.
And the first hitter of the inning after the Giants had taken a lead on Longoria's home run. I mean, you're at a point now, and Max has pitched long enough where you feel as a starting pitcher they can't get any more if you're going to come back as a team.
1-1 pitch. Changeup missed away. How much of what is happening now with Scherzer? Obviously, he's a legend. He's one of the all-time greats. But I'm guessing a lot of it has to do with tomorrow too.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen tomorrow for both teams? It feels like you get into a Game 4 scenario, and the bullpens are on red alert in a Game 4 scenario.
I mean, think about tonight. Alex Wood at his finest doesn't get out of the 5th inning. At his finest. So that's how both of these managers are going to be watching their starting pitchers unless you're of the Cy Young quality.
Here's a 2-1. Crawford comes up empty.
That cutter has been so effective for Max when he gets behind in the count, especially against left-handed hitters. It's allowed him to get back in the count, just fooling Crawford at the waist.
It's a pitch he's developed through the years, that upshoot, that cutter that comes up and in on a left-handed batter. 2-2 now. Crowd on its feet. And Crawford in the air to center field. Back is Taylor. Sprinting back. He's at the track. He's got room. And he makes the play. Wynn just abused that ball in the air. 3 up, 3 down. All outs to Chris Taylor in center field. 1-0 Giants. Windy Monday night, Dodger Stadium, and a 1-0 game. Giants have a lead on a Longoria homer. Donovan Solano enters the game at second base. Tommy La Stella is out. Tyler Rogers back on the mound. Normally the setup man, coming in early to get Mookie Betts. He will continue. Trey Turner cut and a miss at the first offering to start the bottom of the 6th. Heart of the order coming up for Los Angeles. You start counting the outs. And the Giants know they need to pick up 12. And it is going to be interesting to see how they roll their bullpen out there today as Turner comes up empty again. And it's quickly 0-2.
Trey Turner in his career 0 for 3 against Rogers. Seager 0 for 5, but Justin Turner 4 for 6 in his career.
(0-2) pitch. A little spinner from Rogers.
It's kind of interesting that Gabe Kapler has kind of trusted Rogers with this part of the order. As you see his delivery, almost scraping his knuckles on the dirt. He's got reverse splits. Does better against left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters.
But does well against both sides.
Yes,
overall.
he does.
Managers talk about lanes, windows. This is the one. That's Turner, Seager, Turner. I mean, this is the area for your best until you get to that closer. Philosophically, these two teams are very similar, the Giants and the Dodgers, and how they work bullpens. A little different with Scherzer on the mound tonight, though. Turner gets into one to left center field, and Wade will run it down. Boy, they had it positioned perfectly. Lamont Wade was way over into the gap in left center, and that was a pretty routine running catch.
Off the bat, it would be a double from Turner, but because of the positioning of Wade Jr., you can see him out in left field. That ball really just about 10 strides to his left to make the play in the gap.
Defensive positioning and all the homework that these organizations do, and the great scouts and evaluation that goes into it. It's paid off. Swing and a miss. A 72-mile-an-hour slider from Rogers, and Seager was way out in front.
Look at the positioning against a left-handed hitter. Swung to the left-hand side with a left fielder and center fielder, and moving over Yastrzemski to try to take over that right center field gap.
0-2 the count. Seager grounded to short his first time up to end the inning, and then he walked with one out in the fourth. Alex Wood stranded 2 on in that inning, the fourth inning. He walked 2 batters. Got out of there with a 0. Now don't forget, DraftKings is the best place to get in on the MLB action. Daily fantasy sports betting and free-to-play pools all postseason. You can play in a free late inning pool for a swing at over $50,000 in prizes. Use the promo code HEAT. As Seager fouls that one away. Seager, one of those key free agents at the end of the year. Pretty good odds he's going to be playing elsewhere next season. Little tapper right back to the mound. Rogers up the slope, makes the play for out number 2.
What I love about this play from Rogers is that he's a submariner who almost scrapes his knuckles on the ground, and on a comebacker he throws traditionally to first base.
Are we drifting into pitchers or athletes discussion here?
I'm not saying that. I'm finding it funny. He trusts his living with the submarine. He trusts getting it out at first base with a regular toss.
It does take, in all seriousness, some incredible athleticism to be able to throw this way consistently over and over, and the strength to build up the back and the hamstrings and the legs. And remember, he led the National League in appearances this year with 80. A workhorse for the Giants.
This one, though, is most important, eh?
Tyler Rogers facing Justin Turner. Turner is desperately trying to find it at the plate. 0 for 2 in this game. He's 0 for 11 in the series thus far.
But 4 for 6 off Rogers.
He is the Dodger franchise leader for postseason homers with 13. And he shoots one to right field, a base hit. Justin Turner with a single to right. And the tying run is aboard here in inning number 6. Inning is extended for Chris Taylor.
You see that signal by Turner once he rounded first. He told his teammates to get the ball because he's been in a struggle. But he takes that little sinking fastball, inside outs it, and goes to right field for the base hit. So no 5 for 7 off Rogers.
So you normally ask for the baseball on your first hit or milestone hits, and just to close that, I got that.
He felt like it was a milestone.
My first hit. It's a big one though. Now Taylor is up. And Taylor into center field. That ball is hit hard on the run and making the catch. Duggar. Oh, what a play. The center fielders putting on a show in this game. Duggar and Taylor. And Chris Taylor gets a bit of his own medicine here. Sprinting into the gap. Nice catch. Nice route. Inning over. Hey, a reminder, you can get your game on at MLBshop.com. Authentic on-field caps, tees, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and wear what the champs wear at the official source, MLBshop.com. Max Scherzer back on the mound for L.A. Chris Bryant leads off. First pitch in there for a strike. Got the low call there.
By the way, the sweatshirts have sold out here tonight.
Yes. And a cool Southern California night. Temperature in the 50s. Giants brought the San Francisco weather here. The summer in San Francisco weather here. Wind's been whipping around all night. Got to give these outfielders credit, though. They made a number of nice plays. Bryant in the air. Turner over on the shift, and he'll put it away for out #1. The Giants been pretty tight defensively themselves, Ronnie.
Yes, they have. They've had some good plays from their first baseman. They didn't know who was going to play there. That was Wilmer Flores. And then this was the sublime play from LaStella to Crawford. Chris Bryant playing center field, and then Longoria in the third base position.
And this play a moment ago with Duggar. Look where he started, shading the gap. And I thought that ball really carried. It's so interesting, the difference in the shape of the ball off the bat of Brandon Crawford versus Chris Taylor. Crawford, a left-handed batter, hit a slice. The wind from the left field pole to the right field pole. Crawford's was knocked down. Taylor's had that extra kick to it, and Duggar had to get on his horse to catch it.
It's like it got in the jet stream.
0-2 the count on Lamont Wade. Scherzer pouring in the strikes here. Scherzer has bounced back after the home run by Longoria. He's retired 7 in a row. Longoria's home run started the 5th, and it was a bomb out of here, defying the wind to left field. Nine strikeouts. His last K came in the 5th inning. Here's the 0-2. Do it again.
Better swing there by Wade Jr.
Corey Knebel getting ready for the Dodgers, just in case he is needed in this inning. Scherzer spot due up 4th in the bottom of the 7th. This will certainly be his last inning. Very little humidity in the air tonight. Showed you when we hit the air, 30%. Trying to get some moisture on the hands to feel the ball. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and right off the end of the bat, little cue shot. Ron Wotus would have made that play 100 years ago when he first started as a big league coach.
Or 20 degrees hotter, he would have made that play.
Be retiring at the end of the year, Ron Wotus.
Great Giant coach.
Here's a 1-2, and Scherzer with a strikeout. That cut her down and in. 2 up, 2 down. Max Scherzer with strikeout number 10 as we check in with Lauren.
Well, you mentioned Corey Knebel. I saw him yesterday at workout, and I said, besides stuff, what makes Max so elite? He said most pitchers, they circle 1 to 3 guys in the lineup, game plan around them. Max, he gives the same amount of respect and game planning to the number 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters as he does the leadoff guy. He doesn't overlook anyone.
Thank you, Lauren. There's a lot of reverence for Max Scherzer. Longoria, who popped the home run in the 5th, a wave and a miss, had a slider from Scherzer. Max Scherzer now with 5 10 or more strikeout games in the postseason. Only Verlander and his teammate Kershaw with more.
Longoria's last postseason home run, 2013 Game 3 against the Red Sox.
He battled in that at bat 2 in the 5th, got to 2 strikes, had some foul balls, and then finally barreled one up. Scherzer, a number of shakeoffs with Will Smith behind the plate, wants to start over now.
Longoria said it was me.
This was the home run, the only tally on the board. Left the bat 110 miles an hour. They readjusted the distance here, and if there was no wind blowing, it might have gone 430. As he fouls that one away.
Max gives up a home run on a fastball, 2-1 count behind the Longoria. Challenges him with a fastball again. tells you a lot about Max Scherzer.
The Dodgers have not lost a game that Scherzer has started in a Dodger uniform since the trade. He did lose at Dodger Stadium early this year as a member of the Nationals. But a perfect 7-0, his personal record. 2 outs. 2-2 pitch in the air, center field on a line. Taylor is over. He's got it. Another terrific catch. What wind. Outfielders making plays all game long. Chris Taylor again. And another great jump and a route to take it away from Longoria in a 3-up, 3-down 7th. Well, what a game tonight. These two great ball clubs, great rivals, and the defense on display on a challenging night. Chris Taylor's come up with a couple of gems. He and Doug are both excellent plays. Here we go to the Dodger half of inning number 7. It is 1-0 Giants. Tyler Rogers back on the mound.
Tyler Rogers got an out. Mookie Betts in the 5th. A clean 6th inning. And still on here in the 7th.
A.J. Pollock gets it started. Scherzer spot in the order due up 4th. Scherzer with 110 pitches. Likely he's done. Jake McGee, the former Giant closer, got injured, an oblique injury, lost that job. But he has come back and he pitched well in game 2, and here he is setting up for a big opportunity as Rogers pumps a strike in there on Pollock. And a second guess by the Dodger left fielder with home plate umpire Ted Barrett.
I thought this ball stayed inside, but called by Barrett. Those 110 pitches by Max Scherzer, season high this year. Everyone asked to do something a little more tonight.
Steven Souza Jr. on deck. And a swing and a foul. Scherzer and Chris Taylor. Taylor telling him how he did it. Scherzer 7 strong. 3 hits, 1 run, a home run by Longoria, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Blake Trinan, the terrific Dodger setup man for Kenley Jansen, is getting ready.
Heavy artillery.
Yes. Both sides. Rogers deals, bouncing ball. Over is Solano, gloves it to his feet, and he makes the play! Oh, what a play! Donovan Solano, silky smooth going into that slide and the 360 spin.
Johnny LaStella started out at second base. Donovan Solano came in the top of the 6th inning as a defensive replacement. What a move that was.
Man, that is some serious body control. And gets Pollock. He's been nursing a sore hamstring, but he's been running well. We saw him stretch out a double in game 2. That was going to be bang bang and plenty of time to get him. Excellent play by Donovan Solano. Steven Souza Jr. pinch hitting here. This was the spot in the order originally occupied by Albert Pujols. McKinney pinch ran for Pujols. He was 2 for 2 tonight.
Souza on this roster because of the pop in his bat.
The kind of power that could tie this up quickly. And he shoots that one into the gap right center. It's down, base hit. Yastrzemski cuts it off, and a pinch hit single out of Steven Souza Jr. And that number 7 spot in the batting order has produced 3 hits tonight. 3 of the 4 Dodger hits coming in that spot.
Inside out again on that sinker. Just like Turner hit it to right field on the ground. This one right in front of Yastrzemski.
Runner on, 1 out. Will Smith the batter. Remember, Will Smith ambushed the first pitch he saw in game 2 for a home run, his first of this postseason.
Will Smith has hit this season 7 home runs in the 7th inning or later that have either tied the game or put the Dodgers ahead.
He is their biggest clutch bat. He's hitting 8th in the lineup tonight because of a left-handed starter. It's right-handers much better. There aren't many right-handers like Rogers. Game 2, Will Smith. Jack Littell gave him one he could handle, and he did not miss. It was a booming home run, just a towering fly ball that landed 4 rows up in the bleachers at Oracle Park. Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. And Smith on the ground through for a base hit. Souza will turn and he'll stop and head back to second. He had a big aggressive turn. First and second back-to-back hits. If Lamont Wade has any bobble at all, Souza's on his way to third base.
This one over the meaty part of the plate against Will Smith. Base hit to left field. Look, Souza thinking about it.
And now the wheels in motion. Austin Barnes announces the pinch hitter. Gabe Kapler on his way to make a pitching change. Tyler Rogers, normally pitching late in games, came on in the 5th inning. And now he is out here in the 7th.
Well, they pushed him as far as they could push him.
And now Jake McGee, his 2nd postseason appearance this year. The big man on his way in, the former Dodger. Vision Series on TBS is presented by Good Sam. Big Jake McGee on the mound. We remind you, you can follow all the action of the postseason with the MLB app. Real-time tracking of every pitch, in-depth analysis of the games. You can download the MLB app today. Make this postseason major. So here is Jake McGee. They were trying to get him in a game at the end of the season. Ronnie had an oblique injury, could not. So his first time in almost a month was game 2, and now he's on the mound in a big spot here in game 3.
You know, all season long, because he was their closer, he only inherited 3 runners all season long than McGee. What we found interesting in game 2 is that he's always been a dominant fastball pitcher, but we saw some changeups and some breaking pitches from McGee in game 2.
Another former Dodger on the mound. Austin Barnes was announced as the pinch hitter. Then McGee was put in by Kapler, and Dave Roberts is going to stick with Barnes here. 2 on. Rogers a season high 29 pitches. They asked a lot out of him. They gave him 5 outs across 3 innings. 1-0 Giants lead. Tying run at second base. Swing and a miss. Barnes jumping on that first pitch. Comes up empty.
This is a Dodger team that won 58 games here in the regular season. Won the wild card. And currently in a 16-game winning streak here at Dodger Stadium.
Everybody on that top rail, both dugouts. 50,000 mostly on their feet. No balls and a strike. 0-2 the count.
Got the home plate umpire, Ted Barrett, twisted his mask around. There you go.
He's had a few. Foul balls off the mask.
These umpires are tough.
Jake McGee had a blown save against the Dodgers on September 3rd. Shortly after that, he was injured. That oblique injury, September 12th. No balls, 2 strikes. And Barnes is down on strikes. McGee climbs the ladder with a fastball. And a big out. Second out of the inning as McGee strikes out his first batter faced.
This is the Jake McGee you're used to seeing. Heavy usage of that good fastball up in the strike zone. Barnes now 0 for 6 against McGee.
McGee pitched to a 2.66 ERA as a Dodger last year in the regular season. Pitched in the NLCS against Atlanta, 3 games there, and then had a World Series appearance where he pitched an inning. From the Dodgers to the Giants, just like the man who started this game, Alex Wood. Fastball misses. Mookie Betts ahead in the count. A ball and no strikes.
Yeah, 2 ex-Dodger lefties trying to be the difference tonight.
Betts with 2 men on. And that is a liner caught by Crawford. Brandon Crawford goes up the ladder. Takes a hit away from Mookie Betts. Inning is over. And the defense is shining brightly tonight. Timed his jump perfectly. Got the hair flying. McGee pumping the fist. And the Giants are out of it. They still lead 1-0. Still 1-0 Giants. Brandon Crawford twice robbing Mookie Betts of base hits tonight. That was a big one. Snaring a line drive with 2 on and 2 outs. Now Blake Trinan for LA.
Well, Trinan this year, you see his numbers sub-2 ERA. You can see a lot of sinkers and a great breaking ball from Trinan.
Steven Duggar will lead off, and on the first pitch he skies one shallow left. Pollock calls, and whoa, that one snuck up on him. He makes a play for out number 1. Well, Ronnie, it came in at 94 and it left at 100, and there was Crawford on the other end.
Well, to have the kind of skills at a ball hit 100 miles an hour, and you see the reaction from Mookie Betts, the pitcher Jake McGee, but more importantly, the people who watch Scherzer too. People that have been watching the Giants all year. It's not only about the offense, it's how important an MVP candidate that Brandon Crawford has been for this team.
A 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, one of the best shortstops in the game, and his skills have been on display all series. Alex Dickerson will pinch hit for San Francisco. This is the 9th spot in the batting order. Tyler Rogers and Jake McGee combining for 7 outs after Alex Wood was taken out in the 5th. Giants have been able to piece this together. And how about this? Camilo Doval is getting ready in the San Francisco bullpen. That is their closer. Cody Bellinger in the game at first base. After Souza pinch hit. Dave Roberts has used 4 players in that spot here tonight. 3 different first basemen. Trying to deals. And Dickerson hooks that into the screen. Fouls it away. 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Kenley Jansen gets all the accolades, but boy, Trinan has been as valuable in that bullpen as anyone. As valuable as anyone in the bullpen around baseball.
Yeah, signed a 2-year deal with the Dodgers. And a great finishing kick for LA. I mean, they have an excellent bullpen full of closers. Trinan, one of those pitchers. Kenley Jansen has resurrected his game and his style, adding some pitches. He has been a dominant closer again in the second half. Trinan with 32 holds led the majors. Dickerson, little flare, and that's going to be Seager. Ran into the umpire. Doug Eddings trying to get out of the way. Seager's a massive human being. Just brushed him off like a fly. 2 outs.
It didn't matter if Doug was there or not. He could just reach over him and pluck it out of the sky.
2 up, 2 down for Blake Trinan. So back to the top of the order. Here is Solano. Remember, he came in defensively for La Stella and made a beautiful play. He has one of the many defensive gems here tonight for the Giants. Looking ahead to the Dodger 8th. Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Justin Turner. McGee was pinch hit for. Camilo Doval looks like he's coming in. And can the young flamethrower give him 2? Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count.
Trinan only allowed an earned run in 4 of his last 49 appearances.
To the count. Trinan deals. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Think about this. Scherzer went 7 innings, 1 run, 10 Ks. Had a window where he retired 10 in a row. Finished his night retiring 9 in a row. Giants have not had a hit since Longoria's homer in the 5th. Only 3 hits tonight, but they lead it. Nice play back there by Smith. Solano didn't bite. 2-2 the count.
Well, it's not that tough to face Trinan. All you have to deal with is a 100-mile-an-hour 4-seamer, a 98-mile-an-hour 2-seamer, and a wipeout slider.
Like a wiffle ball he's throwing. See what he has in mind. 2-2 the count. 2 outs in the 8th. And Solano able to hang in there. 99 with the fastball. High in the zone. Longoria's home run standing tall for now. The Giants have 6 defensive outs to get, and the Dodgers are trying to ruin their story here. They're into their bullpen early. Going to ask their young closer to give them 2 innings.
Solano getting better swings at that fastball now as he gets deeper into the count.
Temperatures in the low 50s right now. It's a cool, windy night. Wants a slider. Here's the 2-2. Did he go? And he's gone. No ass necessary. Ted Barrett says he saw it. And a strikeout to end the inning. Camilo Doval stepping into a hot spot. We're going to the 8th. Turner, Seager, Turner coming up. Tonight's base camp presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. There have been a few runners on, been a few moments in this game, but the pitching and the defense has dominated. Scherzer and Trinan for the Dodgers, Alex Wood, Tyler Rogers, and Jake McGee for the San Francisco Giants. Now Camilo Doval is on the mound in the 8th inning. Trey Turner at the plate. First pitch in there for a strike. This is a big pull by Gabe Kapler right here.
Yeah, tried to get 6 outs. Doval gave them 6 outs earlier this season, but it was not easy. He was up and down 4 different times. Finally recalled for the last time on September 5th.
Quickly gets ahead of Turner 0-2.
Since that time, September 5th, 16 games, a 4-0 record, 3-3 in saves. Runs allowed, none.
His only 2-inning outing was prior to that final call-up. That was August 12th. In a 7-0 Giant win at home against the Rockies. He went 2 innings. Only occasion all year he recorded 6 outs for San Francisco in the big leagues.
They like his maturity. They like his makeup. mound presence. They had to work on some of the things in his mechanics to get that control where he could throw a strike when he had to.
1-2 to Trey Turner, and he misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the Dodger bullpen, Kenley Jansen, after trying to retire the side in order. Bottom of the 8th. Dodgers are right where they want to be in the batting order. Turner, Seager, and then Justin Turner. Bouncing ball. Longoria got a nice easy hop, throws on the run, and takes care of Trey Turner for out number 1.
You know, Longoria knew the speed of Turner, so didn't want to take a chance to kind of gather himself, so just threw on the run to make it a little easier play. Also give his first baseman a chance if the throw was offline to make a tag, but perfect throw.
Trey Turner, one of the fastest players in the majors, and Longoria takes care of him for out number 1. Here is Corey Seager now. And he turns on the first pitch, pulls it foul. Sounded like he broke his bat. And indeed he did. He'll need a new piece of lumber.
He sent the bat boy who had one bat, sent him in for the other one.
The one with hits in it,
That's
he said.
Right.
Tell you what Camilo Doval is doing here for the Giants. For a historical comp, you probably, in my mind, you have to go back to Francisco Rodriguez with the Angels in 2001. You know, he came up and he just dominated at the end of the year, became a great closer for many years in the major leagues. Over 300 career saves, but Doval, this was unthinkable even a month ago.
That's right.
But he's pitched his way into a position where he's added the command with the stuff. And he is bringing it right now. 101 mile an hour fastball. And Seager had no chance, was way late.
And this is a pitcher who went through a period of time that they weren't sure he could throw enough strikes to stay in the big leagues. And that's why he went up and down 4 different times. Fully developed now.
No balls, 2 strikes. That adrenaline has to be just roaring through him right now. But that's what the Giants say, as you pointed out, that it's like he has just the lowest, slowest heartbeat, and he's a calm cat on the mound. He barely shows any reaction at all. They love his poise. They trust him in the dirt. Slider at 88. It was in a 2-2 count to Trey Turner, and he's in that count against Corey Seager. Justin Turner due next. 1-0 Giants lead in the 8th. In the air, left field. That's going to hang up there. Wynn knocking this one down. And Duggar has to sprint forward to make the play. 2 up and 2 down for Doval. Doval, a native of the Dominican Republic, as MLB celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month by recognizing the contributions made to this game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow at Las Mayores and at MLB, and visit lasmayores.com for full coverage. 2 up, 2 down. The 23-year-old Doval facing Justin Turner now. Just letting it fly, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Turner is a very good high velocity fastball hitter. Oh, had him way out in front of a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's almost like you got to cover 12, 13 miles an hour of difference between that 101 tops for Doval and the 88 slider.
Here he comes. Turner. 1-2 the count now.
Turner lost his thumb guard, I think, the guard that hitters use. A lot of times they'll get jammed, and they use that to stop it from being too painful.
Turner's home run against Adam Wainwright came on a curveball. Doval, nothing but power. Posey wants a slider. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, he hung it. Close. Tough to get that call when you're set up down and away. Reaching back across. Looked a little high anyway. Posey wants another one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Turner in the air to right field will slice over to Yastrzemski, and that'll do it. Doval 3 up and 3 down. He's got 3 more big outs to get, though. We go to the 9th. Giants coming up. They lead 1-0. What a ball game tonight. The National League Division Series on TBS. And a 1-0 game as Evan Longoria, his 10th career postseason homer, knocks one out against Max Scherzer, defied the wind. That's the only tally of the night, folks. That came in the 5th inning. And now it's Kenley Jansen. Max Scherzer went 7 with 1 run, Trinan, and now Jansen running.
Yeah, 38 saves and 69 games for Jansen, who not only has thrown that patented cutter, but also mix in a curveball or breaking ball at times, or big slider.
Mike Yastrzemski will lead off for the Giants. Well, for me right now, Camilo Doval becomes the center of the story, because it's one thing to go out and have all that adrenaline, and he's pumping at 100 miles an hour. You get through the 8th inning, the heart of the Dodger order, 1, 2, 3. Now you go sit down on a cold night and have to generate all that back up again, and something he's only done once.
Usually that comes with experience. He doesn't have that option.
Giants are riding those arms till the end. Yastrzemski takes a strike. The Dodgers will have Chris Taylor, A.J. Pollock, and then Cody Bellinger due up. Doval has the same expression as he did when he was on the mound. Nothing there. He'd be a great poker player, I bet.
Sometimes we talk about closers in non-save situations, and sometimes they struggle, but not Jansen. 26 of them non-save situations this year. His ERA 1.71.
He had always been reluctant to add pitches off of his cutter, not necessarily to add or toy with, but never really use in those big spots. That all changed this year. A swing and a miss. The cutter's still his bread and butter, but that curveball you mentioned, they call it a slider, but it's got that, it's a change of pace kind of pitch, a curveball, and then that sinking fastball has really changed how Jansen pitches. He is truly a 4-pitch closer now, which is rare. The 2-2, and Yastrzemski gets jammed. Roller foul.
Very few pitchers in this game over the course of a long career, and Jansen's had a long career. As you see Buster Posey on deck, at some point have to add to their arsenal to make them as tough an opponent as Jansen's been his entire career.
Two and two the count. And a called strike 3. Kenley Jansen with a punch out to start his night. And that's 13 in a row retired by Dodger pitchers, starting with Scherzer, then Trinan, now Jansen.
That's the backdoor cutter. A perfect pitch that catches that outside part, framed nicely. Kenley Jansen, I don't know if you can always tell on our screen, but boy, he is a mountain of a man.
Facing Buster Posey. Long-time rivals in the National League West. And he chased one. Just some housekeeping here, by the way. So due up for the Dodgers in the ninth. The Dodgers made a double switch there with Bellinger. So it's going to be Taylor, Pollock, and then Jansen's spot will come up. So the Dodgers have some options on their bench for the bottom of the ninth inning. That's a strike. 0-2 the count.
Jansen in that stretch, he'll have that double hip swivel. Kind of reminds me of the hip swiveling you'll see from quarterbacks pre-game to get ready for a game.
Oh-2. Got him. Foul tip right into the mid of Smith. A strikeout for Jansen. Back-to-back Ks here in the ninth inning.
Just went right after him. No messing around from Jansen to Posey. And the two have faced each other so much. Foul tip, but stays in the glove of Smith.
Brandon Crawford with 2 outs. Slaps one foul out of play.
A lot of great defensive plays this evening, but maybe the finest and saving a run was the one on the line drive from Betts that Crawford made.
That came with 2 outs and 2 on. Crawford with a center field homer in game 1. Giants scored all of their runs in that victory in game 1 on the home run ball. There were 3 homers. Posey had a 2-run shot. Chris Bryant and then Crawford. And their lone run tonight on a Longoria home run. So it's been the big names for the San Francisco Giants. All the 30-somethings who have resurrected their great careers this year all together.
Some of them after championships bought into something new to revitalize this Giants team.
Jansen trying to do his part. 1-0 Giants lead. 1-2 the count on Crawford. Was on it. That was a mistake. But there's just enough off the velocity. There's that breaking ball again. But it's 81 miles an hour, and it's enough of a change of pace. That's been a big pitch for Jansen, as he has written the new script for himself. Doval pacing, knowing he's got 3 more outs to go. The 1-2 again, and a swing and a miss. Jansen strikes out the side. Stage is set. Chris Taylor, A.J. Pollock, they'll start it. Camilo Doval, the 24-year-old flamethrower, back out to the mound. This 2021 National League Division Series on TBS is presented by Good Sam. A 1-0 game. Spectacular defense, both sides. The play of the night, Crawford going up the ladder to pull one back to end the inning with 2 on. And now all eyes on Camilo Doval. Back out for his 2nd inning. Chris Taylor leads off for the Dodgers. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. He dropped a slider for strike 1.
Boy, to me, this will be the story of the postseason if this young kid can get through these final 2 innings.
Taylor's already had a moment in these postseason so far as he skies one to center field. Routine out there for Duggar, and he's got it for out number 1. One away. Last time a Giants pitcher had a 2-inning or more save, a famous moment in Giants franchise history. Madison Bumgarner went 5 innings in Game 7 of the 2014 World Series against Kansas City.
Maybe the greatest pitching postseason ever.
Doval is 2 outs away. A.J. Pollock 0 for 3. On the first pitch, he pops it up. Wind's blowing. Ball is slicing hard into foul territory, and that hits the net. Wouldn't have had a play anyway. And the winds tonight coming out of the northeast really helped Pollock that time. That's a sure out on any other night at Dodger Stadium.
Well, it would have been in play. I don't know if it would have been a sure out because it was in kind of that Bermuda Triangle part of the field, but
Doval pitched Game 1. It was not a save situation. Crawford homered to make it 4-0, but he came on and he retired the side in order. Gavin Lux has moved on deck. That's Jansen's spot.
Dodgers have won 16 games in a row here at Dodger Stadium. 58 wins in the regular season and the wild card win. The wind has picked up, if you can believe it.
No balls and a strike. 1 out, 9th inning. Doval deals and a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on A.J. Pollock. Just in case the Dodgers should tie, it is Alvarez getting loose. Oh, and 2. And whoa, down he goes. A called strike 3. Pollock on about face. And Camilo Doval, with his first strikeout, is now an out away.
If you designed a slider on your computer, this is exactly what it would look like if you wanted perfection. Then gets the call from Barrett.
Pollock asked him if it was on the swing. Ted Barrett said it was on the corner. He got a little off that corner. 2 men are out. 5 consecutive outs for Doval. And now the Dodgers down to their last out, and it's Gavin Lux, one of the hottest hitters on the Dodger roster down the stretch. And he takes one away. 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And a 24-year-old closer and a 23-year-old hitter at the plate for the Dodgers. The 1-0. Lux in the air. That ball's hit well. That ball's back. Duggar on the track makes the catch to end the game. The wind knocked it down, and the ball game is over. And the Giants win Game 3, 1-0.
Lux is beside himself at first base. He covered that completely, and it stayed in the park.
He cannot believe it did not go out. Dumbfounded. And it had the arc, it had the sound.
First ball hit hard off Doval and just would not go anywhere. In fact, Duggar had to stop on a dime to make that play.
Almost slept on that warning track. Doval, 6 up, 6 down. A 2-inning dramatic save by the 24-year-old right-hander. Evan Longoria with a solo home run of Max Scherzer in the 5th inning. The difference in this game. The defense was spectacular. The only other game in Giants postseason history won on a 1-0 score with a solo homer Casey Stengel had an inside the Parker in 1923 against the Yankees in the World Series at Yankee Stadium. That's how rare these are. Send it down to Lauren Shahadi.
Evan, how about your 24-year-old closer? Does he have ice water in his veins or what?
I mean, golly. And called up late in the year, too. You know, hasn't been called on a whole lot in huge situations like this. To be able to go out 2 innings in this environment, I mean, you just look at him on the mound and you feel pretty confident. But, man, he proved something to us tonight.
You saw that high fastball in the first. Were you waiting for it in the fifth?
I mean, I just didn't want to get beat with another fastball or strike out with another fastball. I mean, he had some really good stuff at the top of the zone tonight, executed pitches really well. So I've just been telling myself after every game, like, I just need to put one good swing on a ball, and, you know, tonight it was a difference.
And it was through the wind. Did you think you had it right off the bat?
I was going to walk home if that ball didn't go out because I hit that ball as good as I could, yeah.
How about Brandon Crawford? That play in the seventh, you had a front row seat. How the heck does he get up that far?
I mean, thankfully, Mookie top spun that ball a little bit, but I think I jumped higher than he did on that play. But again, you know, we've been playing really good defense and pitching the ball really well all year. So, you know, it's kind of nice to see it work out in the postseason, too.
It's been a few years since you've been in the postseason. What did you miss the most about it?
Just this environment, man. This was crazy. I mean, what a wild night too. The wind. I mean, I think the sound in here was kind of dampened by the wind, but yeah, just a wild night overall.
Appreciate it, Evan. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Brian.
Lauren, thank you. Thanks to Evan Longoria. Ronnie, his first postseason homer since 2013. It's been 8 years, and it's the only run of the game.
The Dodgers got advantage in this series when they split in San Francisco. The only way that doesn't work if the Giants beat Scherzer, and they did.
Big win for San Francisco, a 1-0 final. And now the Giants up 2-1 in this series. They can close out their biggest rival tomorrow night on TBS. The postseason show on TBS presented by Hyundai is coming up next.